Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Travel Tips and Photo Tricks with your host Harry van Gorkum. That's me. Now, I am a landscape travel photographer. Some of you may recognize me from my most well-known roles as Cregg on Seinfeld and as Monica's soulmate on Friends, also known as the cheesy guy. But that's my other hat. The hat I wear the most and the hat I love wearing the most is as a landscape travel photographer. Anyway, I'm waffling. This week is what we're going to do, which is special. Now, an extreme weather warning came in yesterday for Yosemite and the Sierra Nevadas. It says only travel if necessary. So that means travel is very necessary. I'm getting in the car, I'm packing up my gear. I'll show you what gear I'll take for a trip like this. Little photo trip tips about what to bring, what you need, what you don't need on various shoots. And I'm heading off to Yosemite. I'm driving into the eye of the storm because I've never photographed Yosemite in the snow. And this is my chance to capture the beauty of Yosemite, hopefully, in deep snow. So we're on the way to Yosemite now. We're about 45 minutes out. We've got some amazing cloud in the air. Driving on the 41 into Yosemite. It is without doubt every landscape photographer, anyone in fact who is exploring the parts of America should get this app. It's called Just Ahead. And it is an audio guide. It's like having a guide in your own car sitting next to you in that seat. And they talk you through the park. They tell you the history of the park. They tell you the geology of the park. They tell you about the flora and fauna of the park. They tell you about the wildlife in the park. But of course, they also tell you about all the pull-offs, all the trails, all the things that you think you knew and you don't. And I downloaded that for Yosemite last time I came to Yosemite. This app was like going back to college. The detail they go into, and the great thing about it is it works. You don't need Wi-Fi, so you download the park you want when you've got Wi-Fi, and then when you get to the park, because there is no Wi-Fi in most of these parks, it doesn't exist, it somehow senses where you are, what turnout you're on. It'll say, if you want to turn on this turnout here, we'll tell you more about it if you pull off and go down it. So a lot of the turnouts in Yosemite I never bothered to go down. I went down them all and discovered so many great little trails and so many great landscape opportunities to shoot off the beaten path. It also taught me about the wildlife. Bears. I didn't know, and I probably should know this, but I didn't know there were no grizzly bears left in California. There are only black bears. And black bears aren't necessarily black. They can be blonde, they can be red, they can be brown, they can be big, they can be small, they can be black. Where I stay in Yosemite is a place called the Red Bud Lodge. There aren't many places in Yosemite that are near the gate. A lot of places around the Yosemite area say 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes to Yosemite National Park. There's one there called Yosemite Lakes Park, right? We're still 45 minutes from Yosemite from here. Now, that all sounds great, but as you know, if you've been to Yosemite before, the Yosemite gate's the west gate, the El Portal gate. You may go through the park, through the gate into the park, but it's still another from those gates. If you're coming in from the west, which I am, through Wawona, it's another 45 minutes from the gate into the valley to any kind of view, to anything to photograph, really. So if you've got a place 45 minutes out and another 45 minutes beyond the gates, you're looking at, almost 2 hours drive to get into the park. So the Red Bud Lodge, where we're heading to tonight, is a four bedroom little strange motel which is attached to a bigger hotel up the road called the Cedar Lodge. To check into it, you have to go to the Cedar Lodge first, get your key, drive down about 20 minutes to this strange little motel just off the road, which has 4 rooms on the second floor, with a kitchenette in them, very basic, but it's any time of year, it's $75 to $80 a night, which that close to Yosemite gates is pretty well unheard of. From there, you're a 15-minute drive to the El Portal gate. So it is perfect for us landscape photographers because, number one, we stay in the park, well, I do anyway, till basically after sunset. And if I'm doing nighttime shots, I'm in there till, nighttime. And, but as we know, as landscape photographers or any kind of photographer, you can't be lazy and you can't lie in. So to get the best shot, especially in this trip I'm doing now, you get up at 5 o'clock before the sun and you drive into the park, so you're there for the first light to see where that light's coming, especially with the snow on the trees. Hopefully I want shafts of light coming through the trees. I want the snow to still be crisp. I want that mist on the Merced River. So having a hotel which is 15 minutes from the gate means that you get up at 5-6 o'clock, you can be in the park by sunrise. The other crazy thing is that I have an annual pass for all the parks. Again, if you're doing the parks in America, buy the annual pass. It costs $80 to go to all the national parks for a year, for the entrance to the parks. Otherwise, you're paying $35 for a car each time you go in. But what I didn't realize was, photographing a lot in Yosemite and other parks, if you are getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, there's no one on the gates when you drive in. You just drive in. And then when you drive out, late at night, there's no one on the gate either because they've all gone home, so you drive out. So in theory, I'm not advising this, but I'm just saying it is possible. If you are serious about photographing the national parks and want to do it for free, then get up early and stay there late. Just so you know. Anyway, we're coming now to Tunnel View. First time I'm going to see it in the snow. There's a lot of snow. And it is stunning. And the great thing is, there are so few people here. I'm sure Tunnel View will be busy, but probably not as busy as usual. The plan is to go to Tunnel View, get some wide shots of that, and then head down to the valley and get a shot of Valley View this evening.
I have seen persons of emotional temperament stand with tearful eyes, spellbound and dumb with awe, as they got their first view of the valley, overwhelmed in the sudden presence of the unspeakable, stupendous grandeur.
Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. Coming around the corner now. First view of Yosemite Valley. In the snow, and there's mist.
As you round the curve just ahead, you'll have your first look at Yosemite Valley. There's a turnout on the left, but the safer way to enjoy the view is to proceed through Wawona Tunnel and stop at the Tunnel View parking area about 1.5 miles from your road. Pull in, come to a complete stop.
God, it looks
we'll tell
gorgeous.
you a brief story about the view.
It looks just like Ansel Adams' photograph. There's mist in the valley, there's snow on the top. It looks just like the first shot I saw of Ansel Adams in the winter. Oh man, I'm lucky. So I've done this many times, but I've never done it in the snow, and I've never done it with a view I think I'm going to see now. The first time I saw Yosemite Valley, I was blown away by it, and I have a feeling now that what I'm going to see is going to be probably, I don't want to build it up for myself too much, but I think one of the most beautiful views I will see of the valley as I come out of Tunnel View. And I just have a feeling it's going to be quite special. So I want to share that with you. So here we come. First view in the snow of Tunnel View.
Welcome to Tunnel View and the park's most popular overlook of Yosemite Valley. From here you can see many of Yosemite's most fabled formations and phenomena.
So here we are, we've made it. and as you can see, it was worth the trip. We got mist, we got snow, we got a crazy beautiful sky. We've got not many people here at all. Quite incredible really for tunnel view. Basically because snow chains are required or four-wheel drive. It's kept a lot of people away. But I'm going to shoot now because it's beautiful. I'll post some of the shots I get. So driving down from tunnel view, got some amazing shots. The only people really there were top photographers, you could tell. Large format cameras, waiting for the light to be right. Probably about 20 photographers there, and honestly about 15 tourists. Because look at this. This is more than I dreamt of. This is paradise on Earth in the winter. Snow on the trees. It's absolutely stunning.
Just ahead is the parking area for Bridal Veil Fall. You can see the 620-foot waterfall from a number of places in the park, but there's nothing like making the moderately steep 0.6 of a mile walk to its base. On a breezy day, when wind whips the waterfall and gives it the appearance of a bride's veil, getting close to the fall is like taking a refreshing al fresco shower.
So like I said, up at dawn, here till dark. So I'm the last person here at Valley View. Here's the view behind me. There's the valley. Someone's car lights just leaving on the river. Pretty good first day. There we go then, guys. It's a wrap for today. Tomorrow I'll be here, crack of dawn, getting some daylight shots. So here we are, Valley View, 7:15 in the morning. It's 32 degrees. It's cold, it's beautiful. I'm actually stepped away from the probably 7 or 8 other photographers who are getting the classic Valley View shot, because I'd like to move down the road towards the valley, and that gives you a nicer view through the trees and a slightly different view. You get this tree here, you can see it, that tree there frames El Capitan beautifully. So I'll show you what I'm going to do there with that. So sun's starting to come through. I'm in the valley just north of Curry Village. Got it all to myself. There's so few people in Yosemite now, it's unbelievable. I have everything here. It's Half Dome, the sun coming up over here. My footprints are the only footprints. So that's it. That's the end of the trip. It's the end of this photographic expedition. There's Yosemite, as you can see. The snow is all thawed. We had the best of it yesterday and this morning. What a great trip. Incredible trip. Now it's a long drive home, 5.5 hours, but worth every second. All right, back to the studio, see what we got.